Hello, I hope you're keeping well. Today I'm going to show you just a few cream products, how best to use them, especially if I just show you, I'm hoping you can see in the light, I've got quite a lot of texture and redness in my skin at the moment, and I find that creams are really good to help to cover them and skim over them without kind of clinging to those patches. So I'm going to start with some CC cream all over my skin on a soft fluffy brush. Really good thing to be doing while we're at home. If you are at home, I know lots of people are still having to go out to work, and I feel like I've been forgetting to say that, but obviously there are so many people out working as well. So whether you're at home or not, take the time to give your makeup brushes a good wash, and it will make all the difference in terms of how your makeup comes out, but in particular with cream products. Because if this brush was a little bit old and already had some excess dried creams in it, the result would be streaky. But because it is freshly washed yesterday evening, I'm getting this really lovely seamless glide that is taking seconds to buff into the skin. I'm going to take a little bit, just using the excess of the brush over my lids as well. And then any left on the brush, I'm just going to pat in to these areas where I'm prone to becoming especially red and really build that coverage. I'm going to take a tiny bit more on my forehead actually, because that's where I've been noticing a lot of kind of red bumps, and just really make sure I'm happy with that coverage. I hope you don't mind me dipping out, but I've got a mirror behind me, and sometimes looking in the phone screen looks ever so slightly differently to what the mirror is telling me. Now I'm going to buff off the excess on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take a cream bronzer and highlighter. The one I'm using that I did actually have a little stab into yesterday is the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, which is incredibly pricey, but there are lots of great similar products that you can also find. And I'm just going to gently pat this into the areas where I want to add a little bit of bronze. So for my cheeks, that's going to be through the cheekbone and along this hairline where the sun would naturally hit. And rather than rubbing this, because I don't want to remove any of the coverage I've just built, I'm actually using lots of little stippling motions and pressing it onto the skin. I thought it might be a nice day to do a glowy creamy makeup, because I'm not going to lie, I've been dry shampooing my hair for I don't know how many days. It's not in the best nick today, so I thought a nice distracting glow on the skin might just detract from the fact that I'm in need of a good scrub on that scalp. Okay, I'm now going to take the same brush, buff away any excess, and go in softly with a pinky cream blush. Again, lots of different brands do these. This is an old Tom Ford one called Sublimate. I'm not sure whether it's actually still in circulation, to be honest with you. But again, I'm just going to press that on rather than rub in. And then highlighter wise, I'm going to go back into my shade and Illuminate with my hands. And there's a highlighter shade that I'm just going to press onto the fullest parts of those cheeks. I'd usually have a play with this on the forehead as well, but as you can see, because I've got some of that texture there, that just wouldn't be the wisest thing. It's just going to emphasize the texture. So I'm going to leave that be pressed in. If there's anywhere where I feel like I've gone a bit too haphazard, not to worry, because I'm going to set all of this with some powder in a minute. But first, I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of brow pencil. All I'm going to do today is a really kind of soft, fresh, bright look. I should have said at the beginning, so even though I'm using creams to achieve that for the most part, I want this to be your simple, really well lit, luminous, radiant makeup. I'm going to take this fluffy end and buff this colour out. I don't want this to be like terribly sharp. I just want to put a little bit of colour through these brows because I'm actually going to go in with soap brows and really fluff these up. If you follow Elle from Bambi Does Beauty, really fab page actually that Elle does. There's a real skin focus. And I think what she does really well, I mean, she's all about less is more beauty, not needing to wear makeup, focusing on your skin. But she really delves into the textures of things. And I will see a product on loads of different Instagram pages and I'll think, yeah, all right, that looks okay. And then I'll see Elle show you the texture of it, how to use it, this, that, the other. And then I'll be like, yeah, that's wicked actually. So I love Elle. But anyway, she introduced me to soap brows. So I'm going to spray. This is the spray that came with it, but you could use water and soap if you've got that at home. But just in case you were wondering, I'll show you this one. Use a bit of spray. You massage your wand into this little pot. One of my best friends literally does this with soap every day. So don't feel like you have to, you know, shell out on something new. Have a play with what you've got. And then I'm going to brush this up through the brows to hopefully set them in place, give them a bit of texture. Got a little hair there. Make it feel really quite fluffy. Love that. And if you continue to do this over time, you will help to retrain those brows to grow in a slightly more upwards motion. So if this is the kind of thing that you're looking to achieve, it's a really good habit to get into, to just continue to brush them in this way. Lovely, nice and fresh. Okay, so to finish off the freshness actually, I'm going to go in with a flesh coloured liner from Pixi on the waterline. This is like a creamy peach that will help to knock out any redness. So I'm just tickling that all the way along. It's only subtle, but it does make a little difference. I think I've managed to build it up a little bit more on the other side. But anyway, we'll go with that. I'm going to... Oh, I've got something else I wanted to show you. This is Freckle Tint. I'm not sure if I've used this in a video before. I've used it a lot on myself. And it's for drawing on little fake freckles. But the reason I've jumped from this to another is I want to set all of my creams and then do my mascara. But this is going to be part of my creams. So what you do is you just dab... Oh my God. It's fine. You just dab a few of these on. Little sprinkling of them. I mean, I've done it again. But you're going to see how easy that is to rectify. Press it out and you look like you've got a little sprinkling of freckles. Now this is great if you're building a bit of coverage. Let me try and do it so you can see and I can see the mirror. If you're building a bit of coverage on your complexion, then why would you be able to see freckles if you had loads of makeup on? Obviously we know I've drawn them on, but for another person, you just look like you've got a really fresh base on and hardly any makeup. So yeah, let's keep the freckle tint going. Will I do a few? I'd usually do a few on my forehead, but because of all that texture, I'm a bit nervous too. So I'm just going to really hammer it home on that nose. Now, I hadn't used this in a little while. And then, if I haven't talked about her enough, Laura Capon put it in a video this week. I just texted her and said, if you need to block me, that's fine, because I genuinely haven't shut up about you on any video recently. So Laura, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm lifting all your ideas and passing them off as my own fun Sunday things to do with our makeup. Okay, really soft touch of powder. I'm going to avoid those brows because, like, the last thing I need is to be creating like a paste between the wax and the powder. Do you know what I mean? So really gently setting this in, paying attention to those textured areas really, so that nothing moves. And then I'm just going to really set around that eye area, because I buffed a little bit of forgotten my words, foundation on there, the excess from my brush, but I didn't put the cream highlighter up here because if my lashes press to it, it's just going to go everywhere because the cream is going to melt this down. So nice big dose of mascara to make up for the fact that everything else is nice and soft. Now I'm having a big chat this morning, so this is taking a little while, but usually this wouldn't take you 5 minutes if you were just at home throwing this on yourself. Lovely. And then I wear my makeup like this quite a lot. Nice and fresh everywhere. Got some spills I need to tidy up afterwards, that's fine. They're easier tidied up on a dry eye. Nice and fresh everywhere. I feel like this is a perfect time to throw a red lip into the mix, and that can be my little popper colour. So I've got a lovely corally red. I'm first of all going to line my lips with just a red liner. This one's from NYX. The lipstick I'm using is really matte, so I'm going to go in a bit further with this liner so that if I can't get exactly into those little crevices, the liner will kind of blur the edge for me. How am I doing for time? I'm okay. Okay, liner on. Just check actually. There we go. And then I'm going to take this Obsessive Red from Lancome. I love the smell of Lancome lipsticks. They're so nostalgic. They remind me of my auntie's handbag, what we used to find in there. Okay, well, there you go. Nice, fresh, pretty, creamy, every day with some freckles. I hope you like it, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.